with Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop. And I have been, I was going to say reading, actually listening to not Doctor Who season 13. If he called it Doctor Who season 13, he might get in a bit of bother, right? He might get in a spot of bother. It's actually called season 13. It's season 13. What is it? It's this book over here. It's written by Alex Lees, and it's freaking awesome. Okay, freaking awesome. In my opinion, the absolute best Doctor Who being produced right now. It's a sequel to season 12. So what essentially is Alex, the author, said didn't really like the was it season 11, 12, and 13? Chris General Jodie Whittaker's Doctor Who. Quite a popular opinion right now, I would say. But really didn't like it and really loved Capaldi's. And I think he's got pretty good understanding of Doctor Who. So what he did, and the reason I think that, because he went ahead and wrote a book called Season 12, which was essentially a season of Capaldi Doctor Who, acknowledging the Jodie Whittaker Doctor Who happened, but shunting it aside as if it was never there in an absolutely brilliant way, and then proceeded to have a reasonably traditional, Rusty Davis, Stephen Moffat season, an overarching arc, with individual stories and was it 2 or 3? I think couple 2-parters, all of which were very good, right? All of which were very good. I very much enjoyed them. And so this is the second season he's done of that, and I'm very much enjoying this. So this one is a very different animal, a very different animal to the first. In that, I think he's trying to emulate everything that Chris Chibnall did with season 13 Doctor Who Flux, but it's a lot better, right? He's putting himself, he's putting a lot of the same limitations on himself that Chris Chibnall had, and again. For my money, it's very good. Fine, before we get into the review, can you hit the like button? Can you hit the share button? Can you hit that subscribe button? That'll be fantabby double dosey. If you're on Rumble, hit the Rumble button, baby. Have a bit of a rumble. It won't make you go blind, but you might enjoy it. And if you're feeling super nice, sign up to my email newsletters on Substack. The link is right there. I give out a bunch of comics on it as well. That's a free one. I do Ice Warriors on Sundays. Doing this thing called Red Ghost on Fridays. That's only going to be for another couple of weeks before I move that off to the paid one. Paid one is $5 a month, and you get a bunch of stonking comic book stuff in there. I want to do a lot more, but man, actually, you know what I really want to do on that is an illustrated version of season 12 and season 13, because I really like them. I mean, when I say I really like something, I'm not being paid by anyone. I actually genuinely really like it. So that's something that might actually be going on my Substack. Finding the time, right? Finding the freaking time is always the number one concern. So yeah, like, share, subscribe, comment, Substack, all those things are good. Fine. Season 13. So season 13, Alex put himself the same limitations that Chris Chibnall has. He wanted to have one overarching story instead of having individual episodes, or not just episodes in the same arc. One overarching story. With packed with characters. Now, where I think Doctor Who Flux was more successful than its predecessors is that it moved a lot faster, and it had a lot of things that made you feel like you're watching Doctor Who. But once you started thinking about it in any way, shape, or form, or even as things went on, you didn't have to put any thought. It just all fell apart. It all completely fell apart. So and people would say, because the limitations of that Chris Chibnall had on, and the apologetics was. I think this book shows the exact opposite. So the overarching story, I would say, is somewhere between Lovecraftian and Robert Holmesian, right? Lovecraftian and Robert Holmesian with a little bit of a modern twist, with a bit of a Moffat-y twist on top, even though Alex is not the hugest fan of Moffat, and he does have a bit of a grumble about things that he didn't like in the Moffat years. Was it last chapter, chapter 8? Yeah, so chapter 9. The basic story is there's rum doings ahead. There are rum doings going on. Romana, who is a companion in this season, in this book, is a bit famished, a bit unhappy that they're always spending time on Earth. So the Doctor says, I'm going to take you something completely different. And he's really just taking the piss. He takes them to this other part of the universe where this small little bit of star system has modeled itself very closely on like turn of the century Earth, turn of the century Britain. In fact, so now it's like more like 1930s Britain. But so you got all this like diesel punk stuff going on, all of which I really really enjoy. So it starts off. The Doctor ends up in a museum. There's a dinner party going on, and they hear about rum doings, as I said, with a archaeological dig in Egypt, and there's mummies attacking and zombies. So again, we get a real like Robert Holmesian thing going on. The villain of the piece is the evil Dr. Nagati. So the Doctor and a band of companions, Romana, and it basically builds up like a small entourage with him. Goes off on a journey to find Nagati and find out what's going on. So that we're in the middle of that journey right now. They stopped at Nagati's home planet, Hungaria, which is Hungary. Actually, and you had quite a good episode in. He has like a Dracula-esque castle. There's a lot of like stuff that you really like. That's obviously being pastiched and parodied throughout this, but it's done in a very like playful way, which I think really really works. The other thing that really works, I mean, the real thing that works about this is the voices, the dialogue. 100% accurate. 100% accurate. I would say to both Capaldi and Romana. K9's in it as well. I do love Alex's performance. Oh, this is as a book on tape as well. Go to it in the video notes. In the video notes is the link to his channel. There's he has a YouTube channel. He puts a chapter out a week as a book on tape, and he's very good. So his firstly his dialogue acting, but his rendition of K9 is so spot on. Like he gets that doggy excitement. And listen, I'm a big dog person. I really really like dogs. So so I do get that thing, and I think he really really portrays it well. But his Capaldi performance is good. His I was going to say his Romana performance is good. It's not him doing the Romana performance. It's a femme fatale does Romana and a few other voices with a thick, I can't even remember, European accent, Hungarian. He's told me like a gazillion times where she's from. Not England, not London. So it took me a while to get used to it. But now I'm used to it. I kind of all it all feels natural to me. I do like it. So anyway. Finally, this episode, they've left Hungary, right? They left Hungaria, I should say, Hungaria, and they're back on. There's essentially the Orient Express in space. It's a spaceship, but it's done like a train, and it's staffed strangely by the Navy Lark. Okay, so you got one of the the recurring characters is clearly Leslie Phillips from the Navy Lark. And the captain is not very happy with the Doctor and his group. And at the beginning of this episode, there is some kind of alert going on, and somehow they get them back on the on the spaceship. There's an alert going on, and it transpires there is a opening into a different type of space. So the ongoing story from last season, a little bit of this season, is called the Bulk. It's like these entities, these extra-dimensional entities, very, very Lovecraftian, very like deeply evil, right? And that's the power that Nagati is using to do his evil zombie-ish things. They get the Doctor essentially ends up inside this this void, this rip in space with Romana, and he meets an old, I wouldn't say friend, an old foe. It's a bit of a spoiler, right? If you don't want to be spoiled, turn off now and go and read the chapter, or go watch the book on tape, or listen to the book on tape. Okay, spoiler, it's over. Fine. So now he's bringing in a new meddling monk, not meddling monk. He calls him the time meddler, and I think him not calling it the meddling monk is a reaction to the Big Finish meddling monk, which is actually quite Rupert Hound meddling monk. I really enjoyed. Jenna Wieland as the meddling nun is what they got. Awful, absolutely awful, done purely for to say, oh look, every men and women are interchangeable. No, they're not. Stop with that. Stop with the nonsense. Okay, stop with the nonsense. Men and women are not interchangeable. Men and women are both equal and unique. Okay, so this is an Irish incarnation of the monk. And he's he's essentially made a modern EastEnders, Albert Square, within this portal. And again, Alex gets to mercilessly take the piss out of the BBC in this by talking about how ridiculous the demographics are of EastEnders. You know, like how everybody is like a lesbian nun. Like everybody, like everybody is merely identity. So he talks about it a lot. I think very, very amusingly. And there's a nice little twist at the end, which is a callback to the Time Meddler, right? A callback to the original Time Meddler. As always, the voices of everything are perfect, which for me, I think just shows a real understanding of the subject matter. And it just works. It works a lot. So strong recommend from me. Again, best Doctor Who being produced, hands down. I listened to this month, and I've listened to Doctor Who 40, the release from Big Finish. You had one story on that which wasn't terrible, and one which wasn't good. I wouldn't call it terrible, wasn't good. This is hands down better. Hands down better. They're both of them, like, just not even close, right? Not even close. If you like this, if you like the Capaldi Doctor, this might be one for you to check out. My name is Tzvi Lebetkin, the rabbi from another planet. Please like, share, and subscribe, and ring that little bell. Ring the little bell so you're notified when new videos drop.